Hello and welcome to episode 154 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is, where will you be in 5 years? Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Now, a great email I wrote today just to people on my email list. I'm sure if you haven't subscribed, then I'm not too sure how to get you on there. But basically, let me just tell you what I was talking about. And I was talking about where you will be in 5 years' time from now. For most personal trainers, and for me when I first started out, I was inside of the gym and I worked in a big box gym inside of Fitness First. And basically, I was not happy. At the time, I was finishing off my degree in physiotherapy. And little did I realize, and I finished my physio degree purely for my parents. You know, growing up with Asian parents, I had aspirations. I didn't have aspirations. They had aspirations for me to become a doctor. And if doctor was not number one, well, become a dentist, because dentists make a lot of money. And in Asian culture, money is fantastic. No, money's security, right? And so they wanted the best for me in terms of what they only knew. And because I didn't get the grades to become a doctor, I didn't get the grades to become a dentist. Actually, I just slipped below that. The third option was to become a physiotherapist. And what I found by being a physio was, 4 years of really hard work, hard study, doing most of the subjects that doctors would do, and going out there and being almost what I would say a peasant to the world. And why I say a peasant is because I did feel like a peasant. I remember being stuck inside a 3 by 3 meter room, looking and touching feet all day, looking at ankles, massaging people, walking people around and looking at their sputum and their cough. And by all means, if you're a physiotherapist, then I really respect the work that you do, because goddamn, it was hard. I worked for 3 months. And I'm about to digress, but I really need to tell you this story. I worked for 3 months and I said, God damn, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I decided I'm never going to do physio again. And that's kind of the end of my physio degree. But I decided to go back into personal training because, or not go back, I was still PTing, but I decided to go full-time PT then because I just had so much more fun. And the reality was I did not know what I was doing over the next 5 years. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're inside of the gym, or you run a boot camp, or whatever you might be doing. You might be doing a little personal training. Now I'm 27, right? And back then I was 23 or so, 22. And I was like, God damn, what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do in the next 5 years? What am I going to do when I have kids? What am I going to do with travel? So at the time, God, when you travel, there is no pay. You don't get paid, right? You lose money. And you don't only lose money for the amount that you go away. You keep paying rent if you can't take any leave. But also, you lose that build-up period again, right? Because the week that you come back, you're going to be at 40, 50% full, and then 75%, and then 100. So you lose quite a bit of money. And so for me, I was kind of like, okay, well, what am I going to do next? And the next option was opening a gym. And if you have a look around you, that's probably not the best idea with most gyms, shutting down, right? Most gyms being unsuccessful. Most of the 24-hour gyms are coming up. We've got these CrossFit gyms. We've got, F45 here in Australia. You've got Fit Body boot camps, all of that stuff, right? But when you realize what it takes to own a gym, and for me, I had 4, and it was very significance driven. It was like, okay, I've got gyms, I'm successful. Yet in reality, when I speak to most gym owners, and Alex Hormozy is one of my good friends, he had 6 gyms, he was, billing hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month, and this is what it's like to be a gym owner. You bill hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month, and then it all just disappears. So being a gym owner, not only are you stuck, not only are you handling stress, not only do you have bills to pay and you're the leader and you have to have your shit together, but you are seeing hundreds of thousands of dollars come into your bank account and then go back out again. That's kind of the routine system of what it's like to be a gym owner. There are very few that are successful, okay? If you're a personal trainer, what's next for you over the next 5 years? Right? And what I realized inside of life, inside of my game, inside of my own transformation was that nobody's going to save you. I was wanting to be saved. I would take on all these different things. I would go and open a Pilates studio with what I thought would be a successful chain. Yet in reality, right, I was expecting to be saved. And when I wasn't saved, it went to shit. So right now, I want you to have a look inside of your life where you feel like there are opportunities and it's too good to be true, and it's like, we're going to do this. Because I don't know about you, but I've been quite disappointed many, many times when I've had ideas and I've gone into partnerships with people and then they've promised the world and then nothing's ever eventuated out of it. It's been a whole lot of bullshit. Right? And I did this I've probably had about 7 different partners. It's been absolutely crazy. And what I realized from that, and it's been an amazing lesson learned, and I want to share the lesson with you today, is that nobody in this world is going to save you. Because what I realized is that very few people really understand what it takes to build a successful empire. What I mean by a successful empire is I mean something that is growing, something that creates a movement, something where you get people to chase you. You see, most businesses build a business where they are chasing people. Okay, if you have a look around, at brick and mortar business, you have a look at online business, you have a look at all those Facebook ads, people are chasing people for business, right? How do you build a business where you are so good that people are chasing you? There are very few of them. So what I realized is that I can't listen to most people when I'm building a business. I can't, because if I listen to people, that's their opinions is all I'm going to get, right? That's natural. I can only share with you my own experiences. So if you want to listen to me, all you're going to get is everything that I've done and a bunch of bullshit like this is a good one, because so many people would love to bullshit theoreticals right now. And I see it more and more inside of the marketplace, and I'm sorry if you're offended by this. Don't be offended. It's just the reality is that a lot of people will listen to things and talk about things they've never done. On this podcast, I won't ever talk about things I've never done, okay? And so what I learned to realize, and the biggest epiphany for me, was understanding that the only person who can save me was myself. And that is when I started on this journey of personal development. I think it was 2014 where I listened, the first personal development tape I listened to, I'm sure you've heard of him, Tony Robbins, Personal Power 2, and I was listening to that on a tram. And if you're not from Melbourne, Australia, you don't know what a tram is. A tram is like a bus, but it's got like an electrical cable, and it's long and it's big. Okay, and I was listening on that on a tram every single day. And he gave me hope. He made me feel good. And it allowed me to continue on the path of personal development and dig deeper to finding the certainty within myself. Because right at this very moment in time, my friends, there are so many people out there looking to be saved. Your clients are looking to be saved. Your friends are looking to be saved. Your family are looking to be saved. You're probably looking to be saved. And I want to tell you that if you step out for a moment and you step up to become the leader that develops certainty within yourself to go and figure out any problem that you have inside of this world, you can deal with the chaos. Anything that comes your way, you be at cause and you can handle, holy crap, the world will change for you. And it took me a few years to get that. Then probably about 18 months. So I started out on this personal development journey with Tony Robbins. I left the gym once I realized, holy crap, I got to this point. I think he was the one that pushed me over. He said, there is way more to life. And I wasn't living up to my fullest potential. So the question I have to ask you today, amongst my scattered brain coming out, because I think I talked about it, my whole life story in about 5 minutes there, is that what are you doing over the next 5 years? Where are you heading to? Because at the end of the day, if you don't know where you want to go, life's going to take you on this river current, right? Life's going to take you on this river current where you're closing your eyes and one day you're going to wake up and you're going to fall off the river and you're going to fall off a cliff and you're going to be like, holy crap, I didn't want to do that, or I'm somewhere I don't want to go. I don't want to let that happen to you. The number one question I've got to you today is, where are you going to be in 5 years? Because as long as you can focus on where you want to be, and if you don't know, that's a big problem. Yeah, because I didn't know too. And then life put me in a place where I ended up and I didn't like because I didn't know. So not knowing sucks as well. If you don't know, the number one question that you need to figure out is know where you're going in 5 years. Where is it that you want to be? Do you want to be leading a movement? Do you want to be changing the world? Do you want to be doing volunteer work? Where is it that you want to be in 5 years' time, and have that inside of your brain and go with it? Because the biggest thing that I've learned is that indecision will lead to procrastination, will lead to more fear and anxiety than making a goddamn decision. Okay? So many people procrastinate. They create all these stories around how hard it's going to be, and they waste energy on thinking about the actual decision. Whereas if you just made the decision that you're going to be volunteering in Africa in 5 years, you just go, yep, I'm doing that, and you'll find a way. You put all this better energy to finding out how to get there, as opposed to thinking about why you can't get there. Goddamn, this one was a big rant. I've been on a rampage these days. But with that being said, I really want you to think about this. This is super important, not only for your life, but I'm thinking about the lives that you have the ability to change as well. Everything sets off a wheel spinning in motion, right? This action, you listening to this podcast today, it sets off something. It triggers something that down the road it's going to change the destiny, but not only your destiny. It's going to change the destiny of the lives and the people that you affect around you. You could change your family's life. You could change your friend's life. Let's start small. You can go out there and start impacting your clients' lives in a different, profound way. Or you can go out there and step up and really make that profound shift, become a leader, overcome your fears, and start leading people. So my friends, I'm going to leave that with you for today. And I really want you to think about it. Your number one question I want you to ask today yourself is, where are you going to be in 5 years? What are you going to do with your life?
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favour and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.